Hey, what's going on? Come on in. Let the class begin. My hair flying, my little short hair is flying. All right, come on in. Let the class begin. Let's get started. So let me hit my comments so I can see. And let me tell Instagram we live. Look, Instagram, we are live on Facebook right now. So join us for class on Facebook. Let's go. Peace out. All right, we're ready to rock and roll. Hey, good evening. All right, let's go. Now we got to let the bell ring. Class about to begin. We got to let the bell ring. The rest of the folks are going to be tardy. We're about to get started. All right, so tonight, what I want to talk about tonight, I wanted to talk about my topic tonight is going to be, let's get it. Let's get this party started. All right, so tonight we are going to talk about, I got to check homework. So what was our homework from last night? Hey, Jenny, what's up? So what was our homework from last night, Jenny? Yes, I can't. I have so many topics. I'll be rocking and rolling. Hey, I see some love. We're checking homework from last night to see if you guys did the challenge. Do me a favor. I'll repeat it a couple of times. Go ahead and share. Doing a read aloud in class. Thank you, Jenny. Yes. So you're supposed to do a read aloud in your class or to your students. Hopefully you tried it, but I just wanted to remind people we do have homework every night. We call it a challenge. So we're doing check challenge homework. And hey, Tanya, what's happening? So we're going to check challenge right now. So did you try it? What was it like? So Vanessa or Tanya, anyone else, let me know. Did you try reading aloud to your students, no matter what grade they're in? Let's not look at it like there's about the grade. It's not about the grade. It's definitely about just reading aloud. Janine says, let's pull it up here, Janine. Janine says, I did one today, and my students and I made mistakes and had them fix it. Yes, I love it. That's what we need to do. You make mistakes, you fix it. All right, do me a favor. Share on your page. Hit the share button and share to a teacher's group. Share it on your page and let them know class is about to begin. Come on in because class is about to begin. So as you can see the ticker scrolling across the bottom, our topic tonight is their reality should look like them. What does that mean? Their reality should look like them. Let's talk about it. There's our topic for tonight. You have it. All right. Let's get it. Let me pull my keyboard closer to me so I don't have to look for it. All right. Tag a teacher. Y'all know what we do. Tag a teacher. Tag a teacher so she can come on in or he can come on in. All right, so tonight we're going to do strategies to increase representation. Strategies to increase representation in your classroom. There are things you can do to help children recognize that their reality does matter. So their reality truly matters. They need to see pictures. They need to see people that look like them. And your classroom needs to reflect that. So let's talk about it. So here's one strategy, one thing you can definitely do. Learn about your own culture and be ready to talk about it. Know why you're who you are because of where you come from. So when you know your heritage and you don't mind sharing it with your students, what's going to happen? They're going to want to know about their own selves and they're going to want to share it. So how do you begin to learn about yourself and share with your students? Like you could talk about traditions, especially around the holiday. You could talk about the traditions of your family in your culture. Like don't be afraid to say the culture word. Don't be afraid to do that. Your students need to know who you are. And when you show pride in who you are, it will help them show pride in who they are. Talk about stereotypes in the media and in the world around us. Like we paused last night, you can talk about that with your children. Just know what level to go to and how deep to go because of your students. All right. Know how deep to go. Your students literally probably listen to you more than they listen to their parents. So they're looking for you to say something. So if you started class today and you said nothing, you didn't acknowledge it, it wasn't anything. So imagine if your students were thinking, man, when we had the Black Lives Matter rally, they were all over it. But then last night they didn't do it because of what their parents said. So they listening to the talk, they're watching the news. So you have to have the conversations. Let's stop acting like the kids don't know what's going on in the world. They do. They do. So let's begin to treat them like it and have those courageous conversations with them. Strategy number 2, know the community which you live. What's important about it? What's special? How do you connect and reflect the culture in your classroom? How do you connect? Do you know the community which you teach? Do you know what's around it? What's happening in the community? And when you begin to know what's happening in the community, if someone dies, if someone prominent dies, or there's a big thing going on for the weekend, if something happening in the community, you should know about it. Or is it a landmark there? Is it something in the community? Because a lot of times we don't always live where we teach. So if you're in a community outside of the one you live in, find out what's going on. So you can have those conversations in your classroom. What's special about the community? What's totally special about it? All right. Now, and how do you connect and reflect their culture? How do you? Consuelo, that's a great point. She says, we discuss ethics, good character, double standards, professionalism, leadership, etc. today regarding what's happening. And you have to have those courageous conversations. Don't just ignore them. Please don't. It just makes it worse when you ignore it. So let's not act like it's not happening. All right. Think through the instructional materials that you use. I'm going to pause. I pause on purpose. Think through the instructional material that you use with that specific eye towards the kid in your class and the community where you teach and live. So understand that there can be a difference from where you live and where you teach. But what are you using that thing? Are you understanding that the curriculum needs to reflect the community where these kids live, not just where you live or how you grew up? Or if the curriculum doesn't reflect the students, then you need to find supplemental material. You need to find supplemental material. You really do. All right, take a look around your classroom. Does the decor reflect the language and the culture of your students in the desk? Take a look around your classroom. If you're teaching African-American students, are there posters in your classroom with African-American people? What's happening on the walls of your classroom? And you're calling these kids in to teach. If you can't find it in the teacher store, then you need to print it out. Heck, you need to create it. Find a picture, make a meme, print it out. But you should be, the students that you teach, you should have some reflection, something going on in the classroom. And that way, it doesn't seem like a shock when they begin to, when people begin to rise in power or get honored or anything of the sort. How do we honor that? How do we show that in our classrooms? Can you imagine that in Chicago, when the first Black mayor, Harold Washington, when he got elected, you definitely have to have this in your classroom. And just because there are no excuses, though, we have to get rid of the excuses, because what cannot happen is that, I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it, so I couldn't put it up. Oh, lies you tell. So even, let's not wait till Cinco de Mayo to put somebody Hispanic up or to talk about, and I know I get it wrong, Hispanic, Mexican, I apologize in advance. But my point is, let's not wait until Black History Month, Cinco de Mayo, or any other month to recognize all of the cultures that we teach. And let's try to find some prominent people in all cultures, but not just go to the ones that everybody talk about. And right now I can only be true to who I am. Okay, Martin Luther King did amazing, but some people did something after Dr. King. Rosa Parks, yes. She said so we could stand. I get it. Yes. It is a lot of people that have changed the world past those people. So we don't have to always go back to Sojourner Truth, Harriet Tubman. We have to teach our kids. There's some other folks too. So let's do that. Let's figure out how to teach our children. And I'm not just the African-American children. I'm just talking about my culture right now. But look into your classroom and see who you're teaching. Whoever you're teaching, that's who you need to represent and know about. Come on. Let's get to know our children and their culture. Because guess what? We can't wait till the 21 days of Black history to teach about Black history. If our students are African-Americans, we should be teaching them about Black history all the time. Our examples need to be Black history. We should be using Black history all the time if our kids are African-American. Kids Black, teach Black history. And note to the parent, just a side note to the parent, don't wait on the school to teach Black history. Do not wait on the school to teach your child about their culture. Now, I worked in a predominantly white school, and the African-American parents would call and say, what are y'all doing for Black History Month? Okay, I ain't gonna lie. I'm about to step on some toes. I wanted to ask them, what did you do for Black history for your family 365 days a year? Why now is it my job to teach about your culture? I can honor it, but why should I have to teach it for 28 days when you should have been teaching it for 6 years, 10 years, 20 years? Whatever. Let me calm down because that's one of my pet peeves about that's one. Ooh. Come on. Don't call the school and ask what are they teaching. You make sure you're teaching it in your household. But teachers still teach. You still honor and respect all cultures. All cultures. Even if you're honoring, even if every month you change the celebration you're going to do in your classroom, if you're talking about different foods, but know the cultures of your students. Know the culture of your students. Let's stop just, and then everybody got a joke about Columbus, but did we tell him what he did for real? But we take the days off. I take the day. I ain't gonna lie. I did. But what are we doing about it? What are we doing with it? We know, okay, we have the holidays, but those cultures of the kids and the community. Let's go, y'all. Let's do better. Let's do better. All right. So what did you say, Yolanda? My education of Black culture starts at home. Amen. Amen. Let's go. Let's go. And I'm going to tell you, going back to what we talked about yesterday, reading starts at home. You don't wait until your kids get to school for them to learn how to read. We can't. Why do we prolong our kids' development waiting on the school system? You know what? I'll tell you this. I'm going to just go on and say it real quick. That's why so many parents having problems right now. Right now with COVID. That's why so many parents having problems. Because they wasn't teaching their kids before COVID hit. Before the pandemic hit, they should have been teaching. And they wouldn't have might have had a problem with understanding the curriculum, but their kid would have been used to sitting down, being governed, and focusing. I'm just trying. Look, I love it. I love what you just said, Karen. Yes, that's the first teacher. Parents are the first teacher. Parents are the first example of what love should be like, what sharing should be like. Then you wonder why a kid get in class and don't want to share their crayons. Come on. What are we doing? What are we doing? We can't allow our kids not to learn something because someone else doesn't teach them. See, that's why we mad when they teach our kids about something that we don't. If you fill your kids up, they know how to accept the information and spew it out on a test. Let me stop talking to the parents. Come on. Let me stop. I done got on a tangent. Back to the subject at hand. The reality should sorry. I done got frustrated. Their reality should look like them in your classroom. Their reality should look like them. Not you. You can't change your skin tone. You ain't got to come in there being hip hop and preach all of that. You don't have to do that. What I'm saying is the walls that they look at every day, no matter who's teaching them, when they look up at the wall, is it a black hand holding that cup or is it always a white hand? If you're teaching majority Hispanic students or Mexican students, do you have that on your walls? Are you learning a word a day? Are you doing something culturally? Do you have sombreros up? Do you have anything that's about the culture? Even if you reach out to your parents, ask them to submit something for the newsletter. We want to honor all of the cultures in our classroom and just send a general thing out. So when they say, what did you do for Black History? Well, I did ask for an article from you. I didn't get anything. Or you send out and you say, hey, we're celebrating Cinco de Mayo in my classroom next month or 2 months in May, and we want our parents to be involved. So what part of this program can you lead? Let's go, y'all. Let's pull our parents in. Let's pull our parents in. Let's go. All right, let's go to the chat. Let's go to the chat. What's going on? So Barbara says, I never thought of it before. But I have photos and quotes of Black, white, Hispanics, etc. in my classroom. That is awesome, Barbara. I love it. I love it. Yes, yes. They should see them on the walls. Yes, yes, they should. They definitely should. All right, culturally relevant language wall. I love it. Karen, yes. You already talking about the language wall, the word wall, culturally relevant. Let's go. Let's go. I love it. I love it. Accountability is real. You right, Sharon? You right. You right. You right. Love it, Janine. She says it's all about the parent connection. If you empower your parents, they will use that power in a great way. So when something goes wrong in the classroom, you can have that conversation and the parent is good. You can have a courageous conversation with the parents if you are using the ability to communicate with them on a reg. If you're using that ability to communicate on a regular, I said on a reg, see, dialect. But if you use it on a regular, guess what? They'll respond. They will. They will, and they will know that you care about their student and their culture. Now, let me get through this and I want to share something because it's so important. So here's the other one. It says, think hard about your pedagogy. Do your teaching strategies make learning less or more accessible to some more than others? I thought I would let that breathe. Do your teaching strategies, are they catered to some more than others? And then, so let's just, I'm not going to assume everyone knows everything. So let's talk about pedagogy. Let's define it. The method and practice of teaching. One of the most powerful, matter of fact, hold on. Let me bring it back up to you so you can see it. One of the most powerful pedagogical examples is where students and teachers produce work and learning together. The teacher and the student produce work and learning together. That didn't say the teacher knew everything. It's they produce work and learning together. The teacher becomes more of a mentor or a coach, helping students achieve the learning goals. Come on, y'all. We have to allow our children to learn. We can't just push it down their throat. So we have to understand we should be a coach. Now, think about a coach on the basketball court. He's not out there helping them. You should have got that swing. He's not doing, he's letting them learn. So when we look at that and we go back to the statement that was there, it says, think about your pedagogy. Think about it. Think about it. Do your teaching strategies make learning less or more accessible to some more than others? Do you really know who you're teaching? Do you know who you're teaching? So my challenge for you is to look at students and their culture, not their social economic status or their grades, learning levels. A lot of times we don't look at our students for who they are. We look at them for where they live. We look at them because their brother flunked out or their grades are low. That doesn't mean, just because their grades are low doesn't mean they don't have a culture. All kids come to class with come to your school. your class with an amazing amount of currency. I taught in the hood, but them kids taught me something. I taught in the hood. I was in Cabrini Green, y'all. Cabrini Green. I love my kids every single day. I didn't water it down. I taught them. They learned life lessons and they learned curriculum. That's what's important. When you recognize their culture and who they are, you know how to teach them. So see, when I say meet me to teach me, it's not knowing that I read at a 3rd grade level. It's knowing who I am and finding me something to read at a 3rd grade level. I almost got up. I almost got up right there. I almost got up. That got good to me. Do you know who your students are? See, I am that teacher, but I teach. I teach. I do more than just go to work. I do more than have a cute classroom. Is it relevant? Is what's in your classroom relevant? Is what you're teaching relevant? Do you really know your students? Do you know them? Are you just trying to, you're teaching the curriculum, but are you teaching your students? That's what this shirt is about. I am that teacher. I teach. I teach. It's so many people that don't teach. They go through the curriculum. We can't keep going through the curriculum, y'all. We cannot go through the curriculum. And that's why I created this t-shirt, because I truly wanted people to, like, I teach. I'm that teacher. You know how they be like, oh yeah, she at every meeting, she gonna call all her parents come in. Yep, I'm that teacher. Yep, I'm that teacher. I'm that teacher that you don't have to send none of my kids to the office. Send them to my class. Any kid I teach, you could send them to me. You could send them to me. You didn't have to send them to the office. The office knew that if Miss Humphrey sent the kid to the office, they need to come with their backpack, their coat, their lunchbox, and their keys because they going home. I ain't sent kids to the office. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. So you have to be more than just the body, the warm body in the room. I am that teacher. That's why I created this apparel, because I wanted people to feel like, to understand, like, you could see that you got it. I teach. I am that teacher, and it causes you to ask. So then you could brag about you. Look, people have been ordering again left and right. It's shipping out tomorrow. I got the first, but I had to do it because I can rock everything else. It's Nike, it's this, it's sports, but where's the educational gear where it's just, it's to the point and you're getting it. You understand, I am that teacher. So when y'all throwing a pitch, I am that teacher. I need to know, tag me. I am that teacher when you're talking about something wonderful happening in your classrooms. Let's go to the chat. That's me. I'll show up. They know it. And trust that I'm that teacher. Yes. Yes, they do. Janine says, yes, I am that teacher also. So I gave a free camp, right? I gave a free camp. I wanted 25. I ended up with 33 teachers over Christmas break. It was Christmas camp. But then you have those say, I'm not doing that for Christmas break. I'm on my break. I'm just chilling. I'm not doing nothing. I'm finna lay back up. Come on. See, you missed the free one. Now you got to pay for the rest of them. Let's go. But that's the thing. We can constantly grow together. Yes. So let's see what's in the chat. Let's go. Yes, we got that one. Okay. Karen says, oh, if they go to the office, be ready to come and get them, or the police. Let's go. Right. Right. Some got to go down, because I'm not just sending the kids to the office. Consuela, they send the seniors to me that are at risk. They know I'm serious about not being a statistic. Yes. Let me tell you, y'all, I used this happened as a teacher and as a principal. I had a desk in my office as the assistant principal. In my office was Zach Set. I love me some Zach. Zach was a white boy and he calls me his black mama. I still talk to Zach to this day. I love Zach. I still love Zach. I knew Zach loved skateboarding. For Christmas, I bought him a little ornament that had a skateboard on it. I wish I think it's in the other room. I wish I was. It's over there. There it is right there. Zach made me this Garfield thing and I kept it. He made me a picture. I kept it because Zach made it and I still have it. So every now and then I shoot him a picture of it. But that's the thing. Like, you got to connect with your students. And Zach is my white son. And that's what I called him. He knew it and we connected. We was like this. Love me some Zach. Do me a favor. Hit share. Share with a teacher. Share with a teacher. Share with a teacher. All right, let's see. Let's go to the chat. It has so much amazing information and knowledge filled with the community. Yes, she came. Yes, she came to the Christmas camp. All right. Donna says, I was in the Christmas camp. I was a part. And then you have Karen. Karen says, know your other children. I love it. I love it. Karen said, I'm a dear. Look, when I first started in this school, it was so big. I carried a bullhorn for real because you couldn't be down the hall and think you was getting away from me. I literally carried a bullhorn. So somebody type in the chat, what was my nickname when I first started? Had a bullhorn. I was checking them kids. Didn't take no disrespect. Yes. Sarah says, I was there. Yes. Yes, ma'am. I carried a bullhorn. Yes, yes. Barbara says, look, Barbara says, I was, yes, you were. Look, even Paula in the hospital was there. People came to the camp. It was great. Anybody tell me my nickname, though? What was my nickname? Yes, Miss Clark. They called me Joe Clark. Look, I was Josephine Clark. I was Joe Clark. I didn't even care. I walked around with that bullhorn and I handled business. Kids like structure. I would have 250 kids in the cafeteria eating. And guess what? I would tell them, pick up everything off the floor. Y'all not leaving. I would walk between all the tables, starting at 5 minutes before lunch was over. So guess what happened? The custodian fell in love with me. Sonia loved me. We didn't have a problem. So your kids, trust me. Give them discipline, respect, and you can respect them by showing what in your classroom that you honor their culture. Stop thinking that your kids are defined by the shoes that they wear. Your kids are defined by the purse that they carry. Your kids are defined by the coffee that they drink. Because we have the kids that walk in with the Starbucks. Yes. We have the kids that waited in line to get the first pair of Jordans that came out. We had them too. My point is, respect the culture and the kid will respect you. I promise you. So my challenge for now, you're saying, wait, Miss Val, wait, Coach Val, wait, Auntie Val, we're virtual. Now what? I'm sure you showing some kind of picture. You tell them something. You got some kind of Bitmoji clip art or a photo of somebody. Let's just look a little harder for a photo that look like our students. Let's do that. Let's look a little bit harder to make sure we're representing all of the culture of the students that's in the desk in our classroom, the virtual desk. So just take a look. If you're looking at your curriculum and your curriculum doesn't reflect the students in the seats, you need to find some supplemental material. You don't have to go to the school board and start going off. No, there's some supplemental material out there. If you're in the Extreme Teachers Facebook group, we put in stuff all the time that's supplemental on every subject. We do all kind of stuff. There's some scientists out there in all cultures. Find them, find a picture, talk about them, highlight somebody every week, every day, whatever. Let's get it. Balanced literacy. Thank you. Change your background. Come on. What? Let me find that one. Where'd you go? Right here. Sarah said, change your background. Change your background if you are virtual. Switch it up. Yes, I love that. I love that. Thank you, Karen. Balanced literacy. What are we doing? You have to do something different. All right, what Jolene say? They deserve to see that we care that much. Yes. And guess what? They need to see people that look like them in those positions. They need to see people that look like them holding up. Look up the series Because We Can Because You Did. I believe that's what it's called. Somebody help me out. I believe it's We Can Because You Did. And you can do that. Like you can make it. I'm looking it up right now. I think it's we can because you did. Did somebody type it yet? I think maybe it might be we can because of them. Yes. It says, because of them, we can. And it's a whole series, and they have kids dressed up like prominent people in the African American community. Not necessarily community, but, you know, culture. But you can. We can, because it says, because of them, we can. Because of them, we can. Let's go. Somebody type that in. Thank you. Thank you, Yolanda. I was about to say somebody typed in the chat. All right. So that's where I am tonight. I just wanted the topic of, you know, that their reality should look like them. The reality is they're coming to your classroom every day. They're coming to your classroom every day. And you should be showing, they should be seeing people that look like them so they can grow. All right. Janine, there's the website, y'all. Because of them, we can.com. Thank you for typing it. Yes, Yolanda put it up too. So let's go, y'all. Let's do something different. I get on every night because of them, I can. Because of Miss Biggs. Miss Biggs was my 3rd grade teacher, and I love her. I'm gonna have her come on one night and just let her talk about. And she was my 3rd grade teacher, and I still talk to her to this day. And not only was Miss Biggs my 3rd grade teacher, I spoke at Miss Biggs' retirement party. Miss Biggs was the reason I became a teacher. And the kids need to see. Come on, you got to do it on purpose, y'all. You got to do it on purpose. All right. So that's it. That's all, says the clock on the wall. I really wanted to talk about that and let you all know I'm here every night at 8 p.m. People are always asking me private, like, "Hi, where to get t-shirts from?" You can go to VaLarieHumphrey.com. It's scrolling on the ticker. And just click the gear. It's I am that apparel. So right now we're honoring the teachers. We're saying I am that teacher. And Karen, I already talked to Karen. We are going to do some I am that admin, I am that administrator. So, and it'll say I admin, right? I am that admin. I do that. And we need those people that's willing to speak up for our children and be the teacher, be that teacher. That's all I can tell you. So the one thing I can say, and the way I like to say it is, so there you go. Thank you, Janine, on it. She went to my website and found the link. So that's the link, but she put it in the chat so y'all will be able to find it. It's in the chat. But my thing, this is my new saying for school. Y'all ready? So it is. That's it. That's all, says the clock on the wall. Go be amazing on purpose. Let the bell ring. All right. I love y'all dearly. I love you so much. I appreciate you guys. All right, let me get this so it ring in the all right, class is over. I will see you guys tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central Time. Be on time, y'all. Stop being late for class.